Well, domestic violence is the subject of a new film produced by Africans in the U.S. diaspora. Africa 54's Esther Githui-Ewart is in the studio to tell us more. Esther?
That's right, Vincent. The film is known as XYZA, XYZA, and I sat down with the producer, Remi Momodu, who is the main character and who stars as XYZA, captivating her audience with emotions and ultimately a powerful lesson that domestic violence is a global problem and must stop.
Remi says domestic violence is a public health issue, a human rights issue, and one that societies the world over need to eradicate. She explains her role as XYZA in the film.
XYZA is she's just another regular woman who is searching for love, affection, happiness, fulfillment. And as a result of that, she thought she will find all of that in Desmond, the man. Unfortunately for her, it was the opposite.
Most people have misconceptions that domestic violence happens to uneducated women or men. XYZA was a medical doctor, but very naive. She was pregnant several times, but lost her babies as a result of the beatings she suffered.
Well, she's book smart, but not street smart. She wanted that, American dream, to be comfortable, to be happy, to go to school and be educated. She got all of that. But when it became time for her to enjoy the fruit of her labor, somebody else was doing it for her, and that was the husband. And she was pregnant multiple times in the movie and lost it. So there was so much in the movie. It's packed with emotions, lots of emotion, pain, sorrow, and yet hope.
Enter Francis, who is married to Angela in the film. He is the orchestrator who tells men in the diaspora that it is okay to be lazy, that they should find an educated woman, live off her paycheck and abuse her. David Vande, a VOA radio host, portrays Francis, a friend of XYZA's husband, and like Desmond, he too thrives on his wife's sweat. These men don't work and happily refer to their wives as ATMs.
That high five actually was explaining about women being our own personal ATMs. When you go to the ATM, you put in your card and you punch in your numbers, definitely you put in the amount you want, it will come down. So when he was referring to these women as their personal ATMs, that means the women are actually working for them.
Eventually, Angela is fed up with Francis, who takes her paycheck every 2 weeks, yet she does all the house chores. But when he summons her to the bedroom, she reaches her boiling point.
She is cooking for the house, and then he said to her, come to the bedroom and do your wifely duties. And so she feels as if she's a piece of meat. The emotions are lacking. There's no love, there's no affection, there's no connection. And so she just had it.
Contrary to common belief, men are also victims of domestic abuse. The film features a biracial couple in which an African immigrant husband is abused by his American wife, who alleges that he married her just to get legal status to live in the U.S. The film, which has been watched only by a section of the U.S. diaspora, is set to premiere in a few weeks in Africa. The film's producers and actors hope to send a strong message that domestic violence needs to stop.
So what Africa needs is more education. So I believe with XYZA going to Africa, premieres in Africa, XYZA will open the eyes of people, open the eyes of the younger folks to see that if this is not working for you, you have to get up. You have to say something.
Domestic violence exists in many households, and both men and women need to be educated about civility and healthy relationships. And that may ultimately lead to healthier and happier societies.
Now, domestic violence is a global vice, and often its victims are ashamed to talk openly about it or even seek help. This film, however, hopes to change that scenario by raising awareness and empowering the victims to seek help before it's too late. Vincent?
Well, indeed. That's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com. For more news, tune in to VOA's evening radio show, Africa News Tonight at 1800 UTC, and in the mornings to Daybreak Africa between 0300 and 0600 UTC, Monday through Friday. Thanks a lot for watching. From all of us here in Washington, have a good night.